Hello, my name is Matthew Lichtenberg, and today I'm going to be going over travel, the human experience. The purpose of my presentation is to inform you, my audience, of travel techniques, tools for transportation, hotel or Airbnb stay options, and life-changing experiences while in country. More specifically, by the end of my speech, I hope that you, my audience, will be able to find affordable flights, those stay options in front of you, and noteworthy experiences once at your target destination. For the thesis of this presentation, traveling should be easy and worry-free as all of us yearn to grow and explore our understanding of the world around us. I will inform you, my audience, of the tools and processes available to making their transportation, stay options, and tourist experiences a journey worth taking. So why now? Why during the COVID-19 crisis should you worry about traveling or vacationing? Well, I think that this is a more important time than ever to focus on the positive things in life, especially considering that with your mandated quarantine, you have all the time in the world to plan, you have your various responsibilities taken away from you as you have to stay indoors, and this is the perfect time to allocate funding for future expenses. While that may be not a vacation primary tool, I assure you that everything in the economy has dropped significantly, which allows you the wonderful choice and opportunity of a lifetime to experience and pursue the dreams that you've seen before you. Why listen to me? Well, as a few options, Amsterdam, Paris, Kuwait, Afghanistan. These are pictures of places that I personally have traveled, and I've used all of the tools that I will list in my presentation later on. As some main points, we'll be going over one-way and round-trip websites to use, hotel, Airbnb, and hostel stays, and finding resources for inspiration and organization, as you might feel cluttered or claustrophobic by all the options before you. First up will be how to get there. So, if you're going through and you're thinking, you know what, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, or I've got date and time constraints that I can't really work with and flexibility is an issue, there's a plethora of websites to focus on just those issues specifically and tailor your trip towards you. So, for planning a trip to a singular destination with no time constraints, Momondo is the best one. Easy to use search engine, versatile. However, if you have, on the other hand, a destination, or no destination as I was, but dates only, Skyscanner is perfect because it'll give you multiple and varied destinations of your choice between a specific time frame that you set it for. After the fact, Scots is a very interesting one. Scots is a website for immediate travel access to varied destinations for extremely cheap prices. According to Scots.com websites, the average customer saves $550 on their flight deals. Consumer Reports also confirms this. Then moving on, you have your trusted websites as always, which would include Kayak and Expedia. I've used all of these, and I think my favorites would have to be the Kayak and Expedia routes, solely because they're the most trusted, the most well-known, and they're some of the largest travel platforms on the market today. If you'll notice, the most important is to always get traveler's insurance. I myself have experienced 2 canceled flights because of a Boeing 757 recall that they had on planes at the time of my Europe travel trip. And I did not have traveler's insurance at the time, so make sure to do that. Moving right along into the most important part, which is your journey. You have to ask yourself a few questions while you're going into this, because getting there is merely one part of it. But on your journey, do you want to make friends? Do you care about privacy? Do you care about comfort and leisurely activity? If the first one struck with you about making friendships, hostel stays is probably the best option. Hostels are shared accommodation, whether it's mixed sex or singular sex living accommodation. There's security option with their lock boxes right in front of you. And then you also have people from all over the world traveling to these destinations to help you out with your destination travel trip. The environment is before you where they have bars, as you can see right here listed inside, and you're sleeping, again, in possibly private or 14-bed rooms, which allows you the opportunity to meet people from all over the world. Moving right along, if you cared less about making those connections, but more about feeling like a naturalized, domesticated citizen of the place that you were going to, Airbnb is the perfect option. This one is my personal favorite while I have stayed at hostels myself in the past. Airbnb allows you the option of having the owner themselves sponsor the place, reviewers being prior customers themselves, and then you using whether it's an app for easy interface or their website for your choice. You can choose exotic Airbnbs or luxurious Airbnbs depending on your price range and affordability. I think the best part about Airbnb is that, like I said, you're moving away from those connections with people and more so becoming one with the environment. This to me is the most interesting, but again, everyone has their cup of tea. Lastly, if you cared more for removing yourself from the mundane day-to-day routines of life over here and would rather have a luxurious, pampered, carefree trip, hotels are the best option. And for hotels, Booking.com is my number one choice, solely because, according to their website, Booking.com has wonderful cancellation fees. They take them almost completely out of the picture. And as per my travel site that I fell in love with, which was from author Leah Garcia, How to Plan a Trip, she also goes along with the lines of how this cancellation fee plays such an important part in your journey. Whether it's confirming 2 hotels to cancel one of them in the nick of time so that you find that best trip stay, or whether it's booking 1 hotel room and finding out last minute that it doesn't have the accommodation you thought it did, you'll have your trip stay safeguarded for another trip into that hotel of your choice. Now, we've talked a lot about getting there, being on the journey itself, but I think most importantly is understanding the adventure that we've seen before us, the initial yearning for that dream of travel. So my personal favorite out of the 2 that I have before you would be Reddit, which is an r/travel subreddit, this being an image posting forum for people with questions, comments, concerns about future travel opportunities to all discuss and mold their ideas with one another. This allows you the opportunity to ask stuff that you've always wondered about, destination ideas such as restaurants, festivals or concerts in the area, architectural sites, beautiful landscapes, or even just spots to people watch, which is one of my personal favorites. If not your cup of tea and you'd rather move on to another option before you, TripAdvisor is a wonderful search engine tool, versatile in itself, simple, well-known, and, according again to Leah Garcia, it is the world's largest travel platform as an old standard for travel reviews and recommendations. Again, for a little review of our main points that we've learned today, one-way and round-trip websites are particular whether it's to dates, time constraints, or neither of the 2. Hotel, Airbnb, and hostel stays are accommodated to your liking, exact to your desires for those websites of Airbnb, Hostel World, and for Booking.com. And then resources for inspiration and organization are before you with both our travel subreddit and TripAdvisor. Again, having learned and reviewed, traveling should be easy and worry-free as all of us yearn to grow and explore our understanding of the world around us. I'm glad to have informed you, my audience, of the tools and processes available to making your transportation, stay options, and tourist experiences our journey worth taking. I thank you all for listening and hope you found something helpful for future reference in traveling. This crisis should be the perfect time of reflection for us, as all of our mandatory staycations should become wonderful world-class vacations. Thank you very much.